Nobody,
off because I put off leveling up properly because I wasn't sure what we were doing.
nobody, nobody shows up to watch the stream anyway, except possibly for the 20 new followers I got this morning when I did Stellaris.
Huh.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Um, I think, like, Cassie shared my stream, like, in one of the trans discords, and a bunch of people showed up. Yeah. I was like, okay. And then they're asking me if I have a Discord. I'm like, I have a Discord for my RP game. That is not a general thing. Although I found the Great Crabo Trash Heap that I made way back when, about when I was like unemployed and hoping to make a living on streaming, and then it didn't do anything at all.
Yeah, the thing you added us to do the angel colony thing.
The Great Gabo Trash Heap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing we're in right now. Or not the thing we're talking in right now, but both me
Yeah.
and Antonio are in it.
You, Antonio, and my IRL buddy, who was the only person who ever subscribed to my Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Angel Colony thing. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to open that up to people. It seems like managing an actual Discord is a fucking headache.
Probably.
Yeah. No, I mean, the one I'm in, like, the streamer had somebody show up and start sharing her nudes, and, like, it was like, what the fuck are you doing, person? Fuck off. Don't do that. I don't want to deal with people doing that. I mean, I don't have nudes for anyone to share at me, but someday I would like to have nudes, and I would like to not have people throw them at my face in a Discord. You know, goals, right?
Goals.
Bad goals. And I'm streaming this, I should. It's fine. I don't have a chat open. I never have a chat open when I run this. I don't have enough screen real estate for a chat.
You can learn that. You can learn this.
You can learn to go to a chat.
Oh, that too.
It seems that some of the people from this morning are watching. I just looked at the watching people's list. But I'm closing that whole window because I don't have enough screen time for it. Too much that I have to do.
Now I gotta do twig stuff. Yeah. Twig level up. Because you level up.
Level up. I'll take another drink of water. Because it's 90 degrees on September 2nd. It's supposed to be like 70 at most this time of year.
So, like, since I switched to my skill okay, I don't need to adjust anything this level.
Now you're very quiet.
6 to 8. I'm really quiet again. I tried to turn myself down so like the background noise isn't as prominent.
Ah. Well, that doesn't help me any if I can't hear you.
Is this really loud?
I can hear you now, yes.
When I switched to Rogue, my skill points per level switched from 6 plus int to 8 plus int.
Yep. So you got two more.
I put half and half in the sleight of hand and stealth.
Well, I mean, half and half.
Half and half, so 4 in each.
You don't. That doesn't happen retroactively.
Doesn't happen retroactively?
No. So this new level, you got 2 additional skill points.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I put half and I put 4 in each.
Okay.
I didn't increase my stats because of being rogue. I just put 4 in each.
Okay, I see what you mean. I thought for a moment that you had gathered previous levels.
No.
Which is a mistake I made back in the 3.5 days. Which the second someone explained to me, I went, duh, I'm an idiot. But it happened.
So now both my sleight of hand and stealth checks are 11.
Wonderful.
And if I'm using my sleight of hand to conceal a light blade, it's not 11, it's 14.
How much of this do you know? You know this much. It's come to my attention you've never explored that room. Really? Okay. One of the rooms that you burned down, you never actually went in. I realized as I hit the show's player to see what you had discovered. Well, I'm sure there will be plenty of time to thoroughly loot this place in the future.
Yeah, after we kill the vampire.
Yes. After you do that.
I'm only just now as stealthy as Antonio is. like the story implications. My character as like a thief was less stealthy than the mage.
Your character wasn't a thief. You were like a jester and a performer. And Donatium isn't like a flashy mage. He's like a oppressed minority wizard who just doesn't want to get noticed because he thinks they're going to chop his head off like they did his parents. I mean, yeah. Donatium's got the dark backstory.
Yeah. I have a lizard now.
Well, there's a lizard with you. I wouldn't say you have a lizard.
I want to make him aid me.
I want to make him aid you.
Yes.
Damn it, George Takei. Why do you have to tweet that? Why did you have to tweet that, George Takei? Now I'm... George Takei tweeted, Ivanka, kindly remind your father that he is not supposed to wear white supremacy after Labor Day. You're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day? I guess I'm the only person who found that pun horribly funny.
I don't get it.
You're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day.
Nope.
Did you not know that you're not supposed to... Did you not know you're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day?
Nope. Why?
Because... stupid fashion rules, that's why. But it makes sense. Y'all weren't forced to grow up in the lower upper class. We have to squeeze every ounce of status we can out of our children family, so you weren't made to memorize those sorts of rules. Like, I'm willing to bet neither of you knows how to tie a full Windsor.
That's a full Windsor.
Exactly.
I bet you don't know how to tie this thing. We don't even know what this thing is.
You probably tie your tie with a 4 in the hand. Or a half Windsor.
Okay, but seriously, why is it a fashion taboo to wear white after Labor Day?
So, you're supposed to wear white in the summer because it's like a cooling color, and then it gets cool after Labor Day, so you're not supposed to wear white because it's kind of like saying, look at me, I'm so hot and not cold, when everyone around you's cold. So it's like a rude thing or some bullshit like that. I mean, it's Labor Day, and again, it's fucking 90 degrees.
And it's only gonna get hotter.
Ugh, indeed. I mean, ugh. I'm moving north. I'm moving north for the apocalypse. Maybe when my rich parents pass away in like 20 years, I'll buy farmland in Canada that's not very productive now. That'll become like the breadbasket of the world when the apocalypse happens. and then I can make it all productive just in time for like whatever fascists rise up to come murder my entire descendancy and steal the land from me. Yay! This seems like a bad idea.
I have no idea. I'm just. I don't want to talk about the environment at the moment. It's just I'm already starting to freak out over it.
You live in Arizona.
Not in Arizona.
New Mexico. Same diff. I imagine they're very different.
Probably.
But the point is, you already live in the post-apocalyptic hellscape. Congratulations. You can teach us. You can teach us how to survive dust storms.
When the dust starts coming, you stay indoors.
That was easier than I was expecting. I was expecting, like, you gotta, like, put a trash bag or something up over your window so it doesn't go in the cracks or something like that.
I don't know, I only, like, when a member of, like, the worst kind of dust storm, and it's, you usually get mud in your face. So, like, so it's like, I think, like, you'll suffocate if you stay out there too long.
That sounds like a bad time.
Yep.
Speaking of bad times, Dorian apparently decided to wait until it had started making landfall in Florida before it turned north. So it seems like, so my understanding is now its eye is off the coast of Florida and it's just running up the entire side, just wrecking that half the state. And I'm like, did Dorian like do that on purpose? Is the sentient evil hurricane? Because it kind of looks, from my understanding of the radar, like it purposefully chose to do the most dick thing a hurricane can do. We should get on to better topics. I had to scare away all the viewers. Yay! Now we go there and we look and we'll see that there's no one watching.
Oh, well.
Or at least that's what I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
So does anyone want to do the last time on?
Goblins! I don't like him! Give me 1 second, I have to back upstairs.
Goblins, I don't like them.
Anyways, we found these two people who then tried to kill us. Or, at the very least, incapacitate us. They threw food over one person. Lots and lots of food.
I love that you killed someone by just dropping like 2 tons of food on their face. That was wonderful.
Well, I had ideas similar to that, like back in the fortress. I was considering picking up one of those heavy chests at the desk, and then like just like if I had happened to see like enemies on below us, like on a cliff, I would like dispel the thing while like leaning over the cliff and just drop the thing on them.
I love creative uses of spells like that. They're why this stuff is just the best. Squeak, squeak, squeak. So,
you know, I actually had a plan similar to that in another game. There's like a bridge magical item that you can retract on command. So I'd like imagine like you have a spot where you can set the bridge up, put a lot of shit on it, and then retract it.
And then all the shit rides the bridge back to you.
That like instantly retracts.
And all the shit rides the bridge back to you instantly. And then it's like got all that momentum that it's accumulated and it flies in your face and you explode.
And then you can use it as a launcher at that point because you don't have to be at that end. It's a command word.
This stuff.
Okay, 1 sec.
Reminds me of the commoner chicken line.
What's the commoner chicken line?
It's a stupid thought experiment from D&D 3 3rd edition, where you line up commoners in a 2-mile line. First commoner holds a chicken. Everyone else delays action so they go in order down the line. First commoner spends a move action to pass the chicken to the next commoner. Next commoner does the same, and so on and so forth and so forth. Until the last commoner, who just lets the chicken go. At which point, the chicken will have moved 2 miles in 6 seconds. Which means that the chicken will have an absurdly high amount of momentum. And somebody calculated the energy of it, and it's like one of the old school nukes.
You could have done serious damage by this technical break in the road.
And there was a what will happen, ha 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 ha, and there's that big scientific analysis of how much energy would be released. And then the next post is by a professional GM and game tester for Wizards of the Coast, whose response is, the final commoner will toss the chicken. The chicken will move. The chicken will operate as a thrown improvised weapon with a range of 5 feet and deal 1d4 damage. Because this is a game, you idiot. Or something like that. And then, of course, my favorite thing was my roommate in one of the games we were in made these absurdly expensive. They're like 100,000 gold pieces per shot bolts. And what he had is he had a teeny tiny little bag of holding and a rolled up portable hole, and would shove the portable hole inside the bag of holding when the arrow tip hit a target surface, which would annihilate a 20-foot radius. Because it explicitly states that that's what happens when you put a portable hole inside a bag of holding. And of course, he threw one at he launched one at the big bad. And the GM's like, "What are you doing?"
Stop it. Stop it.
Unfortunately for him, what it actually does is it transports that to the astral plane, and that particular big bad had planar teleport without error. So he fired it, it illuminated him, and then the next round the bad appeared behind going, "That was a dick move."
Okay, guys, I'll admit, dick move.
You got these.
Except for that one oversight.
You've got these 2 unconscious folk to get into the game here. Waste less time. We got these 2 unconscious folk that you killed with fruit baskets. And you've got that wonderful little lizard you were interrogating, Death's Skull. And you heard the roar through the caverns of Drakthar's rage as he came back again.
Are those Drakthar?
Yeah.
Sounds like him. His plan took 4 hours?
Yeah.
It only feels like minutes.
Y'all did a bit of searching and other stuff that's time consuming. Remember,
Beat him up again.
Last session it ended with Drakthar. There was roar as he awoke.
What do I remember come from?
I'm sorry?
What direction did that roar come from?
In the caves. Somewhere. It kind of echoes around.
Around. You did notice something Bernie versus Ed, where are his minions?
To Turvu, you keep... Mal keeps trying to say something. I can't hear him, Antonio.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna ask if a perception check would let me like see where it was bouncing away, like the source was coming from.
You can attempt one, sure.
All right.
You're not entirely certain. You think it's relatively close to where you are, but you can't precisely pinpoint where the roar came from.
Here. Well, boy, what should we do now?
Well, probably take him down for a third time.
This man is becoming very troublesome.
Don't worry about it. The last 2 times he went down easy. Ever gonna look at Death Skull? Would you like to wait here, or would you like to come with us?
Oh, I need to make sure that Corlander's okay. He's my bestest friend.
Well, he did try to attack you.
He's upset. I wonder why he's so angry.
How about for now you just stay hidden in my pocket?
Okay. We're gonna make sure that Corlander's okay. He looks kinda hurt.
He'll be fine. He's safe right here.
Okay. Scurry, scurry, scurry. Hide in shirt. Death Skull is now in your inventory.
Yay!
Hide in skirt.
In my skirt, yes.
I'm projecting here.
God, you're supposed to project on other people's characters. You're supposed to project on your own.
I can't help it. So yeah, got that great cavern. You've got that stairway floating down.
I just realized what HP I'm at. I'm gonna use a wand to cure light wounds on myself.
I think I'll put this here. And a little background color there. There we go.
Let us proceed with caution.
Okay.
I will attempt to roll stealth.
I will also stealth.
To go stealth.
We both rolled 19s.
Hey, Mal, you're sneakier than Tony. TM,
By 1
congratulations.
point.
And that's what it would have been the same if I didn't have that negative level.
Oh yeah. We would have the exact same stealth roll.
Yep, but it hasn't been that day yet to make that fort save.
No, it has not.
So you can see here a couple of alcoves that go off from the cavern. This one is a very narrow 5-foot high alcove you'd have to crouch to go in. This one is a 10-foot high alcove, but it's elevated up on a 10-foot high ledge. So this tunnel continues further down to the southwest, and up to the northeast you can see a 40-foot high wall with some sort of chamber above it.
Which way?
I'm assuming he'd be deeper in. So let's head down. This place goes like far as fuck down.
Yeah, it keeps on heading down there. All the way down to... Yeah, it continues on down, sloping quite some way. You can see a couple of narrow, squeezing passages.
I hope we're not. I hope this doesn't lead to the Underdark.
There's a spot right there.
So you can see here, there's these three sort of areas where the passage narrows to where you'd have to squeeze through. You know, it's maybe 2 feet, 3 feet wide in those areas. And it also narrows down to this tiny little pass over here. That's about 5 feet across and only about 6 feet from top to bottom.
It's a good thing I am short.
Okay, Turvu. I have some bad news for you.
Oh?
So, as you pass into this area near this short little passage, where the roof starts to get down near your head, something drops. Something thick and green.
Oh god, is it the slime?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
So, it falls, it hits you. Because apparently there's no save on this. And you can immediately feel it burning your flesh. What do?
You see, I don't really have anything I can do, so Tervu is gonna, scream and turn to Tonatiuh.
Tonatiuh, you have 1 round. What do you do?
1 round,
We're in a pseudo-initiative here. Oh god, Death Skull's in your pocket!
We'll be fine.
Okay, so, knowledge engineering to figure out what a slime is? Or at least figure out what I could do in this situation?
It devours flesh and organic materials on contact and is capable of dissolving metals. It clings to walls, floors, and ceilings, reproducing as it consumes organic matter. It, in the first round, can be scraped off of a creature, completely and utterly destroying the thing being used to scrape it. After that, it must be frozen, burned, or cut away. It deals 2d6 points of damage per round to wood, metal, and cloth, and 1d6 constitution damage per round to living creatures.
Let me get this off you fast.
Oh, move here. Scrape it off with the short sword.
Alright, your short sword is destroyed. The problem is resolved.
Shave.
Yeah. It's destroyed. There's kind of pitting in some of Turvu's clothing. Death Skull is kind of looking nervous. Because,
I'm gonna look up for more of those slimes.
it looks like the only slime already fell.
Yeah.
And this time, we got through it without anyone's arm getting cut off.
Well, in this case, it would drop down on my head. That'd be my face.
Well, I can still burn it off.
Yeah. Could totally burn your face off.
Oh god, no, wait, I realized something, Kat.
What?
My mask. I was wearing my mask.
Your mask took 8 points of damage.
I'm pretty sure my mask is destroyed at this point. I'm not in clothes that have that much health.
Well, let's just take a quick double check on this. Cloth has 2 hit points per inch of thickness. Leather has 5. So assuming that this was like some hardened leather mask, it's destroyed.
I have no mask anymore.
Yep.
Aye.
Your mask is destroyed, your smoke rolls out of your eyes. Fun.
Oh, I'm sure we can make a new one out of that bugbear vampire.
Out of them?
Yep.
And at this point you can
Chaotic evil now.
at this point you may now make perception checks.
Oh yeah, you screamed.
Yeah.
That's 9. Let me roll twigs.
Do any of you speak Orc?
No.
I speak common and nothing else.
So you hear a voice further in the cavern whispering, Utok gan, Utokoin gan Gustavak.
My roll a linguistics check to figure out the gist of what they said.
You may attempt it. You not really sure.
Oh,
Here we go. Duck over here and re-stealth. Just in case they haven't seen us yet. Oh, that was a bad stealth roll.
23 for Trontium and 35 to Twig.
Oh, they can't even really. There's no point. You can hear the sound of metal boots shuffling deeper down the cavern.
Hey, Turbo, I have an idea, but how good are you at throwing rocks?
I have no idea.
Ach, tu vagato. Yeah. Chunk, 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 chunk.
Oh god.
Uh-oh.
Chunk, chunk, chunk. You're stealthing, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna get some perception checks.
Ugh, use me.
And I forgot to open this again because I am an idiot. There you are. Yar, where are we? There we are. Okay. Well,
One notices me.
one notices you.
Yeah, the 17 notices me.
And the 23 notices both of you. So the 7...
Thunder wind?
I'm sorry?
Isn't there thunder wind in this case?
Oh, that's right. But still, they point to Tarvu. The one of them points and says, Ugh. And they immediately put forward their shields and ready their halberds. You know what time it is.
Let's see. Yep.
And Death Skull is not involved in this. Get out of here. Carvu and you and this one. Okay. Carvu.
I'm gonna take a full defense action.
Tonatium.
I'm gonna hide behind this corner. And oh yeah, maybe not do that, but maybe stay right here and put up the ward.
Okay. At the back, the one who's been belting orders in Orcish. A tall, dwarven man wearing a fine suit of scale mail armor with a club at his belt raises his hand and shouts to you, "Who do you serve?" And the mercenaries hold.
Turvey is going to say, I'm a new recruit. I serve our Lord Drakthar.
Make your bluff check. Okay. Tonatium.
Don't know what he's trying to accomplish, so I'm gonna just do nothing for now.
Your lord, maybe. Not mine. Stand down. Well, is the barracks ready? The boys are exhausted from the march.
Yes, sir. Feel free to get any rest you need.
Wonderful. Are you gonna show us the way? Where's Corlander? I was expecting him to meet me.
No, he's already asleep.
Really? Lazy bum. Well,
I did have to meet Drakthar, so if you just head on up the tunnel up that way, you should be able to find the barracks easily.
excellent. He goes over and he just kind of pats you on the shoulder. Demon, huh? Demons and vampires. Boss sure knows how to pick the allies, eh? And they relax and take their way on up. Heading up the hallway. I assume you wait until they go for a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should probably
Get on before they figure it out they're bamboozled.
Yeah, let's get going.
And only a little bit afterwards, you hear a voice bellow, Corlander!
Oh, fuck.
And... Hey, Turvu,
Yeah.
make a perception check. So that's probably going to win. But it might not. Nope, it totally wins. You see, as you're hurrying down, you see the goblin sneak that's turning going, huh? I'm not expecting people to come from that direction. You get your surprise round, Turvu. He's up on an elevated 40-foot high platform.
I can't do shit about that. I'll take my surprise round to get closer.
Okay. And since he's surprised, we're gonna go ahead and just put him at the end of initiative. Make it nice and quick and easy. So what you're gonna do, Turvu?
Absolutely. I'm gonna hit him defense action. I can't actually hit him if he's 40 feet up.
Donatium.
I am not wasting what's left of my magic for this. I'm taking cover.
The sneak shoots a crossbow bolt at you, Turvu.
I'm gonna catch it.
You catch it. Turvu, it's you.
Key arrow.
Ruh-roh.
Missing. What?
Donatium.
I think I will use my wand of floating disc and start piling some small rocks on it.
Okay. And another bolt goes flying towards Turvu and is caught.
Yes. I will attempt another key arrow. God, I am low rolling these attack rolls.
Donatium. Collecting rocks still?
Yep.
Okay, collecting the rocks. This sneak is beginning to suspect you might have an ability that lets you catch his arrows, but he wants to make sure.
That's gonna miss me. I don't even have to catch that one. In fact, I can't catch that one.
In fact, he shoots himself in the foot.
I like to imagine he's like, oh, So you can catch aerosol, catch this, and then shoots himself in the foot.
Yeah, he was trying to be all fancy, and he's like, "Oh, crud." Turavu.
I am gonna light one of the fireworks and chuck it at him.
Okay, make your ranged attack. You'll have a -2 to your attack because of the range.
Alright.
It hits the side of the cliff and falls down.
Oh. I'm gonna take a couple steps back.
Donatium.
I do have line of sight, but he probably has cover. I'm gonna stop collecting rocks for a moment and acid splash him.
Acid splash.
Does that touch?
It does not. So, the fireworks go off. It's quite beautiful. The sneak drops his crossbow, draws his short sword, wriggles his foot free, looks at you, and says in Goblin, "This is a bad idea," for running and leaping off the edge. This is on top of you. He leaps off the edge and comes flying down. The question is, will he hit you with his short sword?
Hopefully not.
Nope.
No.
Which means he's gonna fall. And he made his acrobatics to leap. So much for the...
It's funny, like, a short person just jumps at me, I dodge, and he dies.
Yeah. Well, that would have been, 15 damage on top of 15 damage if you hit, so... He's not dead. He's just on the ground, unconscious. Snapped his neck.
He will be dead. As I kick around and take his ears.
Okay.
I was trying to remember why we were killing him, but in the first place.
And you can hear the voice shout, "They've killed Corlander! Get them!" So as you might expect, we're not done with initiative. Turavu.
I'm gonna take a couple steps over this way and attempt to stealth.
Okay. Donatium.
They still do not know I'm here.
Now, what was your stealth? 23?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Twig's like 30 something.
Twig's hiding in you. He's in your inventory.
Yeah.
So... full round move from them. And from him. Turavu.
Start moving this way.
This is the ledge. Just FYI.
Yeah. Over here.
Donatium.
It's a 40-foot ledge. I'm not confident in my ability to climb that. So I'll just remain here.
Okay. You can hear the clanking as they continue to they're running this direction. Turavu. Tonatium.
Nope. Wait a bit longer.
There we go. The mercenaries are getting closer. You can hear them approaching if you can't already see them.
I'm gonna wait some more. I'm gonna be pretty close.
Tonatium.
I am going to prepare an action for if I see orcs, more than 2 orcs within this area, I am going to cast Color Spray.
So as they're getting down here, they're going to continue to run. So he gets there, he gets to make his perception check.
Oh, he fucking saw me. He beat it by 1.
And as he sees you, he stops and he shouts, "Here!" Which means that this guy is going to not run, but walk, which will trigger the color spray.
Yay! Make a will save.
Da-da-da-da-da. Boom. Well,
They have you rolled high. They have pretty good will saves.
I rolled high.
I forgot there was a reduce effect. I'm gonna look at that real fast.
I think it's safe for no effect.
Uh-oh.
And they're now
Yeah,
aware of
okay.
you.
Oh, there goes Color Spray. Yeah, this is bad.
You found them? Turbu. 23 is looking right at you. The flashing lights behind him, not his problem.
I am going to take a 5. Let's shift this way. And blistering invective.
Okay. Make your intimidate check.
Let me just... What intimidate was...
They're like all in range except for Zodin.
Yeah.
So what's the damage?
1d10 fire damage, and they are all demoralized. And then they can make a reflex save or be caught on fire.
Well, let's do ourselves a whole boatload of reflex saves here. Where's our reflex? Reflex is shit because we're standing here in fancy armor.
Let me just check what my save for it is.
Well, you do roll damage for them.
The save is 10 spell level and my charisma, so 10, 2, and 3. So save is 15. So 2 of them save.
Okay. So just let me get this damage in here real quick, because lots of damage just occurred. Yay, AoE spells.
And Turbo, as his insult, will say, "Hey, you're back! Wow, you guys must be really dumb to have believed me."
And all of those people catch fire. And that one actually gets the one I wanted. There we go.
Ah, okay.
They're all on fire and all demoralized. So they have a
Yep.
-2 to their attack rolls.
Donatium. Dervu just called them idiots and they caught on fire.
There's gonna be more fire. I cast Burning Hands in this direction.
Oh. Remember how I talked about how they fixed it? Do you mean
Oh yeah.
in that direction?
Oh, wait, in what direction?
I don't see anything.
Do you mean in that direction?
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
More or less.
Helps if I don't have it on the hidden layer. And once again, these guys are wearing big, bulky, fancy suits of armor.
Plus 1 year.
But I'm still rolling pretty high.
They don't make it.
Oh, what's the damage?
Big fall damage.
Like, barely they didn't make it.
What's the damage?
That's not the cut right now. Maximum of 5d4 fire damage.
5d4?
Yep.
Burning hand.
So a 15? And 11. Oh, fuck it. We'll do 15 on everyone because, yeah. That's, they're hurting.
And
Especially that one up in the front. That one up in the front is looking particularly crispy.
And the one behind it on fire.
oh dear, I was hoping that killed them. Bring them to unconscious. Plan B, Twig, defend!
Twig.
Twig, defend! Go forth, kitty cat, and protect. Well, 23 looks at you, Turvu, and says, "One moment, lying man," and takes a step over this way. And since Twig is in his way, he attacks Twig. Actually, he doesn't take a step because he has a frickin' reach weapon.
Oh, it's gonna get demoralized.
Nope.
Nope. 8 is going to look around. He can't get into a position to attack Twig. Actually, he takes a step forward and he attacks Tonatium because reach weapon. Why does he care about Twig in the way?
Nope. Barely.
Same with 131 here.
Uh-oh.
Does it
That
confirm? Yeah.
Target crit.
So Twig's out here going, yeah, and these guys are just stabbing over, and this one here takes advantage. Oh shit. And skewers you for 27.
Oh god, oh boy. That's a pretty deep wound.
Like how 8 on fire is like, fuck it, I'm gonna attack Target.
Well, that's right, 8 also takes damage. These are very well disciplined. He is literally, he is on fire, gritting his teeth through the pain, and fighting.
Ow. This is bad, Turbo. I don't think I could take another hit.
100
Best I can.
takes a step forward, sees the position, and in a very well, first he takes his damage. He doesn't even try to save. In a very well-trained way, stops, drops, and rolls. And the other two take their damage and are saying something in Orc as they stop, drop, and roll. Which actually means that these three are prone right now. And Zodin just furrows his brow, sees how injured 23 is, and just walks up here, grabs him by the scuff of the collar, pulls him back, and shoves a potion in his throat. As he says, "Kill the liars, you fools." Turbo.
Turbo's gonna look at the group and say, I don't know what insult is he gonna throw this time. I'm gonna butcher infect him again. This time hitting everyone, including Zeta.
Okay. What sort of lame thing are you gonna say this time? Because it's always when you say something lame that it works.
I honestly don't know what Turbo's gonna yell at them.
Has to be
I already have like one.
Come on, it has to be a bad fire pun.
Wow, look at you guys. You can barely hit the pinned mage. Gosh, you are on fire.
There we go. Make your intimidate roll. Well, okay then. Let's begin with the 6.
The 1d10 fire damage and all the on fires.
Let's begin with the 6.
So are these the deck saves?
Yes.
2 of them make it.
One of the ones that didn't make it is already on fire. So we've got our damage roll for the regular fellas.
Oh, you hit Zodian too, unless he...
He has different stats.
Ah.
So I'm gonna have to roll him differently. I just want to get these folk all resolved because there's a lot of damage going around. A lot of damage going around. Well, 23's happy he got saved. Now, let's see what happens with our good friend Soden.
He's on fire.
I'm sorry?
He's on fire.
And takes a little bit of damage.
And yay for demoralization.
Donatium.
What kind of weapon does Zodin have?
Zodin has a wooden club at his belt.
Okay, so
It's a wooden club engraved in fine gold and trim.
okay, so this has reach weapons and the other one is prone.
Yep.
So I could 5-foot shift here and cast mage armor.
Because I can't take an exit opportunity against you.
Oh wait, I took that out because I was messing.
23 gets an attack of opportunity.
I think 23 does.
Yeah, 23 does.
Yeah, I forgot that wasn't it. That was no longer my spell list.
Oh, well, it's not on your spell list anymore, then I guess you can't cast that. And there's no attack of opportunity.
I'll cast a ward.
The ward, okay. So, 23. This time, 23 is like shit, fire. '23 is a little bit less hyped around that. And he would stop, drop, and roll, but Zodin is standing right there. So he's going to turn to face you, Turvu, and just stab.
Oh.
The 17.
Really hit me.
Yay, for max damage.
Ouch.
$131 is going to take a 5-foot step back as he tries to pat out this fire. Failing. Taking the damage. And because Zodin is right there, stabbing at Tonatium.
Oh no. Well, it's been fun.
9 damage.
And I'm out.
$100 is going to stand up. Ready his halberd and walk over here. 222 is going to stand up, look at that situation, look at you, and draw a short bow. 58 is going to take his fire damage and continue rolling around on the ground like an idiot. Because he's on fire and he doesn't like being on fire. Jordan draws his club and says, "Let me through." Walks up to you, Turvu, and goes, "Lying is bad, young man." As he swings down at you with his club. He's clearly much more scared than his demeanor's letting on. Turvu.
I'm going to take a 5-foot shift back and constantly trying to get back to the gun.
How many of these do you have?
This will be my last one.
58 is so glad that he's not in range. Well, let's begin with the damage roll. And you're hurting a bit too. So there's only one orc that needs to make a save here.
And he does not.
Not a great position for him to be in. Zodin makes his save.
Yes, he does.
Donatium.
Oh yeah, you gotta start making force saves now, huh?
Save versus death. You stabilize.
Twig.
Oh yeah, twig. Let's put
Twig is
twig.
actually on his own now.
Yes. What's twig do?
Jonathan was down. Jonathan is down and 131 is already down, so Twig will go for the next best thing and start attacking Orc 100.
Okay.
As around.
Yeah. This kitten is attacking an orc that is a flame. And that hits. And that doesn't hit.
Claw, bite.
Okay, there's one hit. Twig will need to make one reflex save to avoid catching on fire.
20 plus 4.
Okay. So the thing about this is this made it very likely that this is just going to kill the mercenary. It does not kill the mercenary. The mercenary is still aflame. It's going to take a 5-foot step away from the fucking cat and roll around on the ground. .222 goes, yeah, and attacks the cat. And is not demoralized because he was out of that range.
Uh-oh.
Did that hit Twig?
Yep.
For 13 damage.
Ooh, Twig does not look so good.
58 stands up, drawing the bow, and comes over here, not yet able to fire. Zodin steps towards you and says, "Boy, I don't like your tongue."
Good thing you can't hit the price out of the bargain.
Through.
I'll take a 5-foot shift in this direction, and I'm gonna stab at mercenary. I'm gonna arcane strike at mercenary.
You're gonna arcane strike the prone mercenary.
Yes, I am.
This guy's rolling around on the floor going, putting the fire out. You're gonna stab him.
That's a good thing.
Well, I'm gonna assume that you're going to be dealing more than 1 damage here. Especially since you confirmed.
Let me check how much damage I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So it's 3d4 plus 9 plus 3.
Yep, enough to actually legitimately kill him, and not just he's a mook so he's dead, kill him. Twig! They're stabbing you with big sticks.
Shift. Full round. 222.
Char! Kitten
Bite.
rescue.
Bite. Claw.
The second bite hits.
I mean, 2 claws and then a bite. They're the same. Okay.
The second attack still hits.
For a minimum of 1.
And 222 is gonna step back and say, "Damned cat."
Oh, come on. Kid, why are you always like this?
For 13.
Oh, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. Let me check real fast.
Is Twig okay?
Twig might be dead. I don't know.
Shit!
Is Twig dead?
Twig died standing.
Is Twig dead or down?
Dead.
Oh no! No! Twig! Twig, who has saved the party so many times. Tonatium goes down and Twig perishes defending his beloved doll. Oh no. This is not good. Well, 58 has his bow out and is going to be shooting at Turvu.
Just so you know, the ward's still up. You need to, like, move yourself.
And Shodin, just furrowed brow, not blistering invective this time, says, "You need to stop killing my boys."
That's gonna hit.
For a lot less, because this guy's a diplomat.
For 5.
For max damage.
That's his max.
As he hits you with this golden club. Turvu. You get the sense you're not facing off against a... Get the sense you're not facing off against someone with class levels presently.
It's like a 5-foot shift and use cure light wounds on myself with a spell slot.
Okay. $222 is going to walk to here to attack you.
Yay, missing.
58 is going to come up here, dropping the short bow and getting that halberd back up as he goes.
Ow.
For minimum damage. As Jodin, clutching himself, says, "You got this, boys," and come back here to start rummaging through Tonatium.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna Arcane Strike, throw my Star Knife at 58.
Okay. That hits because they wear their big fancy armor.
I'm gonna take a 5-foot shift in.
Oh, come on. You go to there so I can select this guy. Okay. The 58 is not looking very hot. 22 goes and takes a 5-foot step over here on a defensive action. 58 takes a 5-foot step over here and a defensive action. Snowden goes, oh, smart boy. Well, I ain't got any more potions, so just kill him. Dervu.
Okay, now you're in the ward with your orders off this turn.
I'm going to Arcane Strike at 58.
Okay.
Missing.
22 takes another step and may now strike at thee
Ow!
Stop rolling high!
for
Good thing you didn't confirm.
minimum damage. No, that was not a crit.
That's not crit.
That's not a crit.
Okay.
That would have been that was a crit if he'd been demoralized.
Ah.
Steps back to strike. Missing.
Missing.
Shodan steps forward and swings with that golden club.
Missing.
Dervu.
This is bad. Let me... The real question is what does Tonatium have on him? Zoden took it.
So much if you're trying to look for something specific, it might not be obvious. Yeah, the Thunderstone. Yeah, the
He didn't
power
really.
next to me.
He started shuffling, looking for something obvious, and then he's like, "Oh shit, it's a wizard."
Some magic books.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna take a 5-foot shift then and take the Cure Moderate Wounds potion out of Tonatium's thing and drink it.
That was the wrong attack. I'm sorry. That's the right attack. There you go. Get that cure moderate wounds.
Cure Moderate Wounds is the 2d8 plus what? Your potion?
Huh?
What is it for the potion? Yeah.
2d8 plus 3.
Yep. 2d8 plus 3.
I'll be right back.
You're gonna be right back.
Yeah, I gotta go ahead and say real quick. 1 sec.
That's not good because they're all going to be stabbing you.
No,
We're gonna take a
can't
moment.
watch.
We're gonna have a moment. Let's see. Has there been anything in the chat? I don't think it actually keeps me a chat log, so if people have been going, "Oh no, how horrible," they'd have to tell me again when I open this up to look. Hello, chat. We're looking at you for a moment.
This is not going as well as I hoped, but I think that's because my first spell failed. The first spell failed.
I wonder if it could possibly have anything to do with the whole trained group of mercenaries.
Well, that is a spell that eventually gets weaker with time, so...
Well, there's plenty of people watching, but it looks like no one's saying anything. If they are, then they said it before I went to go look. So we can just pretend that they're all calling me the worst GM ever for rolling too well.
Look at the dice and do not favor me today.
Twig! No!
Twig!
Twig!
I mean, I knew this was gonna eventually happen if I kept using them as a shield, but like there was really no other option at this point. That's what Twig would have done.
Yeah, I know. Twig thought that he was invulnerable since that time he killed the ogre.
No.
And it turns out that he's not, and he died skewered by half a dozen orcish halberds. F for Twig. F for Twig.
I'm not drunk enough for this. I don't drink, but that's exactly my point.
I'm back.
Aw, Twig!
You see ya.
But yeah, they're all trying to stab you to death.
Yeah, that hurts.
That's a crit threat.
That's a confirmation.
I thought your AC was 17 normally.
My AC is 16 normally.
This is bad. This is very bad. Halberds are a ×3 weapon.
I have 29 HP. I might be fine. Yeah, I'm at 1 HP.
And there's one more fighter.
Please don't hit me. Yeah, it didn't hit me.
And then Soden.
That hit me. Fuck, I'm down. Yep, me and Tony Team are both down now.
Oh, not again.
Oh, so now I have to decide what the fuck Shoden would do. What the fuck would Shoden do? As far as Shoden's concerned, you just killed his best friend. Fuck!
Maybe Death Skull can help me.
Okay, I know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen. You're going to travel through the darkness for a time. Unaware of anything. And this is all going to get rearranged.
If only that critical hit rolled 4 less damage.
So they're going to be probably over here, actually, because you torched the barracks. Okay. So, what exactly are you all at for your negatives?
3.
Mine is 3.
So we'll both wake up like all around at the same time.
So the question is, how does this work? Okay then. Okay then. Okay then. What's your constitution modifiers?
+2.
So You wake up. Both of you wake up the next day.
Next day, so
So we're going to have you over here. You come to. So regain your hit points for a day.
Day, so that's 6 plus 2, or 6 times 2?
Yeah.
She does 6. I healed to 9.
And
3.
you awaken shackled to a wall. Both of you. And the first thing you see is a giant bat leering at you. And the bat turns and crawls to the side, chittering, as Drakthar, who should be medium-sized but is small for dramatic purposes that don't matter anymore, gets up from this chair made of bone and flesh. The chair, as he stands up, backs away slightly, sort of in reverence. And Jordan says, "Aye, I get it. They killed your men, they killed my men, they torched the place. And it's your idiots who did this." Drakthar turns to Jordan and says, "Silence, fool." To which Jordan replies, "Your mind games have no effect on me. Do what you will. Do what you will. There will be a reckoning. There will be a reckoning." And Drakthar turns to you, Tonatium. "I have longed since that first time you bested me to feast upon your blood." What do you do, Tonatium? Do you do anything? Can you do anything?
I could do something.
What of my stuff?
You've got everything on you, but your hands are currently... Both of you have your hands manacled to the wall above you. Let's go ahead and do an initiative, because I think people are going to be wanting to do things. Well, that's appropriate, Tonatium. Well then. Drakthar comes towards you, Tonatium, moving your head to the side. He has to pin you, so you count as grappled. I don't think you count as pinned, so he's going to have to pin you, and you might resist him pulling your head aside. Does 18 beat your combat maneuver defense, Tonatium?
I have like the shittiest combat maneuver ever. I don't even know how I'm supposed to raise it up higher.
Dude, a 15 beats mine.
But yeah, so that beats it.
He pulls your head aside and sinks his teeth into your neck, beginning to drink your blood. Take 3 constitution damage. Turvu.
Turvu's gonna yell, "Hey assholes, target me instead," and cast Blistering Invective. Because I was asleep for a day, I get my spell slots back.
That backfired on him.
Oh. Please critically fail.
You jinx!
Can I critically fail with this? It's not me.
It's a spell.
It's not magic.
It's a spell.
Oh, this is the demoralization thing. It doesn't have an
1d10,000. Give me that 1d10,000. Give me that sweet, everything is... That sweet.
If we're lucky.
Please do something good.
I interpret these bad for you on a 1.
Oh.
So let's see what's on number 5,814.
Everyone catches fire.
Well.
What happens?
You see a vision. Your invective rolls back upon yourself, and you see a vision. You see a vision of cauldron in flames, of the moon, the full moon. Tonight's full moon, you're sure of it. Turning black, and swarms of winged monsters flying out to consume the world.
Uh-huh.
Tonatium.
Yeah, let me just look up stuff real fast so I know if I can use anything. Right. Protection from evil. Yep. I'm like trying to look.
This isn't like last time. I don't have good reasons to save your ass.
Let's just hope my next blistering effect is not crit fail.
I'm looking up something. Sorry, I'm like trying to see if there's anything I could use to work.
I think most of your stuff requires you to be able to speak and move. So... Drakthar continues to drink.
So, if I were to try to cast a spell, would I just make a concentration check?
Yeah. It'd be hard.
I know it. I would like to try anyway.
Okay. I'll allow it. As you attempt to cast this spell, chained and marred, with a vampire sucking your blood.
So how do I just want to make double sure of how this works.
This is going not, yeah. It was this, or Shodan just kills you in your sleep, so... There's a chance. It's not a good chance, but there's a chance.
God damn it!
So then you take the 2 constitution damage as Drakthar continues to drink your blood.
Now let's try this blistering effect again. There we go.
Well, this is going to affect all but one of these. Boom, the fire rolls over everyone. Rat dies. And they go, ah! And Drakthar flinches. And roll for Drakthar. He's important. Bat. Shodan. Those 3. And that one.
So, 3 of them succeed, because it's DC 15.
Those 3 are on fire, which means we need to add them to the initiative. Donatium.
Attempt to cast the spell. Something, anything.
Well, you're casting something.
Blast missile! Blast magic missiles into his face! Including inside his mouth.
Okay.
Inside his mouth.
I'd like you to roll 1d20. Okay, it doesn't blow up in your face.
3d4 plus 3.
He's not looking great. So this bat, I have to look up the bat's stats now. Because these guys are all over the place. Our bat needs to save. Keeps not saving. That is not looking super great. As it bats itself out and growls something. 219. I know his stats. He's been at this a while. He furrows back and looks at Drakthar as he loads an arrow. Joden. Joden doesn't get his big bonus at this point. As he steps forward to you, Tarvu, and goes, "Oi! Stop it." Does that hit your flat-footed AC -4?
Flat-footed AC -4?
Because you're chained to the wall.
Then yes. Sadly, because of the -4, it does hit. If it didn't have the hit.
4 damage.
No.
Are you up?
I am at 5.
Drakthar muddles through Tonatium. "If he does it again, kill him. I am feasting." He's back to there. Turbu.
Mystery effective. And he does it again, Kella.
15 is enough for not Drakthar, not Shodan. It's enough for the rest who are eligible. So.
Someone took max damage from the looks of it.
Yep. And, yeah, saves. So his save. Their saves.
All but one save.
Donatium.
I need more.
You grow weak from the blood.
To resist. More. Rubbing against the wall, the bit of a cane. I attempt to once again cast another spell. Does that succeed?
That does succeed. If it's a level 1 spell.
It's a one spell. Burning Hands.
Do you want to catch Zoden or the bat?
Zoden.
Okay then. So Drakthar can't attempt the save.
Yay.
So he takes max.
Fail, succeed. So fail, succeed, and Shoden Succeed. And the throne. Succeed.
So, yeah. I take half.
Drakthar dissolves into gas.
Fuck you.
And with him, so do your manacles.
I'm no longer tied up.
The dire bat screeches at Tonatium and attempts to bite him.
Nope.
This sneak is dead. So is this one, actually, because of all the previous damage. And so, actually, is Zodin. Well, unconscious. Not dead, unconscious. The Adept, though. The Adept is on fire. The Adept is angry. The Adept has had orders to kill him if he tries again. So, the Adept first will make a reflex save. Then we'll take the damage. And then we'll cast Scorching Ray at Turvu.
Oh, he rolled really high. I had the demoralize thing.
He's demoralized, isn't he? So he's demoralized. So he is does not crit with that. So it's a 23 instead of a 20. No, it is still a crit. Never mind.
Yeah, it's not crit because he rolled the 20. I'm probably gonna die, maybe.
This is a thing. And in this moment, you recognize this Adept. It's the King in disguise.
What?
This Adept is the King in disguise.
I don't understand.
Turvu recognizes him as such.
What kind of damage am I taking?
None.
Oh.
He is the. You believe utterly that this goblin is the king in disguise.
Well, I'm gonna coup de grace zone.
Well, the king's on fire?
Yeah.
That's right, you don't give a fuck about the king.
I don't care.
This is the best one for you. Sodin's dead. Donatium. Giant fucking bat.
Giant fucking man, and there's a goddamn throne. I don't know what the throne does. Shit, do I want to risk the bat or do I want to risk the throne? I don't know if the throne does anything. I could shift and attempt to open the secret compartment of the silver staff for cure moderate wounds potion.
Okay.
As I stuffed her with space with it.
Whoa.
The bat flutters down towards you, Tonatium.
This is gonna suck.
Whee! It bites you. 7 damage.
Ow. Does my con damage have to do with my negative stuff?
It'll affect your hit points.
It'll affect your max, not your current, unless your max drops below your current.
Yeah.
Let's see, 3.
You have 3 HP, so you're still down.
Yeah, I know.
The Adept looks at you, snarling. The king looks at you, Turvu, snarling. As he says, I cannot kill the master's game. The king on fire. The king no longer on fire. Calling this vampire master. This vampire's got people up there even. And as he just takes a step forward, waving his staff in the air. And it has no effect because he tries to cast sleep and you're too high level. The throne roars in rage. Teeth opening. It snarls. It's the armrests detach as long clawed arms. And it walks around the bat towards you, Turvu. And claw. And claw.
Ow, what? Kids, what the fuck?
Kid!
10?
I'm at 3.
Turvu.
Take 5-foot shift and use Cure Light Wounds on Tonadium.
I am back up. At what cost?
Donatium.
I'm still thrown, aren't I?
There's the bat. There's the throne. There's the king. Wait, Cauldron doesn't have a king.
Trevor realizes, wait.
I have no idea what you're talking about. This wants to see if I try now. I will, can I roll like a 5-foot rollover?
Yep.
And I attempt to cast a spell.
On the ground. Targeting.
Dire bat. Or like, no, the corner? Does it have to be a target or it's a 10-foot burst?
Oh. So it's gonna hit everyone.
Perhaps I aim it a bit farther back.
You can make it... Okay. What's going on?
There's a bright light blast. Every creature in the blast must make a reflex save.
Okay, thrown. Bat. Well, they hit another one of my d20s. One of my nat 20s again.
So for the bat is blinded for 1d4 rounds, and the chair is dazzled for 1d4 rounds.
This chair is immune to such things.
Are they both evil?
They are.
So regardless of their save, they take 5d4 damage.
That's pretty nice damage.
The throne still stands. The king snarls and says, in common, my life is worth more to me than appeasing that thing, and will attempt to run through your squares, provoking attacks of opportunity.
If he's not gonna attack me, I would let him.
Yeah, I'll let him move, mostly because I'm not in a position to be stabbing.
The throne steps towards Turvu and claws.
Please don't hit me. Ow, Kit.
Stop jinxing!
Kit!
It didn't confirm?
I am at 3 HP! I am down! I'm at -5. I'm gonna have to make my fort save. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I think I make my fort save, so I'm not dead.
Donatium.
Roll out, roll out.
How Tonatium's on the ground, just rolling away from things, shooting spells from the ground.
I am going to borrow Turbo's wand and cure light wounds and attempt to bring him up.
Huh. Do that use magic device.
Yep, use magic device check. Roll a 1. I dare you.
Please don't
About
roll.
that. I don't know how to use magic device.
You don't have it?
Nope.
You expend a charge from the wand to no effect.
Nope, I'm gonna try.
What? You expected me to know how to use your stupid wand?
I would expect the wizard to be at least somewhat proficient with use magic device.
The chair goes forward and attempts to grab Tonatium.
Does that mean? I don't know. 13.
It's 10 plus your dex plus your mab.
10 plus my dex plus my.
That plus your strength.
It does not grapple.
Donatium, the chair is trying to pick you up.
Oh yeah, I also read the rules of wands. They do not actually provoke attacks of opportunity.
Oh. That's handy. So I can cure light wounds in the face of danger.
Yep. I will attempt to cure Turbo again before rolling out.
Hey,
Hey.
1d8 plus 5. I am up with 2 HP.
Roll it
Yay!
out! Roll it out!
The throne is not aware of this.
Uh-oh.
As it comes over and grabs Tonatium and picks him up. Turvu.
So it's not aware of me, is it?
No. I'm not even sure how it would be aware of anything. You just know that it's like holding Tonatium, like forcing Tonatium to sit in it.
Hey, let go!
I think 10k is fine for now. I'm gonna cure light wounds myself.
Tonatium.
As a move action, drop the Cure Light Wounds wand and use the wand. Can I use the wand? Can I use the wand while grappled? Am I grappled?
You are grappled.
I'll use the wand. Floating disc to carry all that junk that's in that corner.
You've got a bunch of moldy blankets and such.
I'll attempt to just make the chair's life inconvenient by trying to weigh it down.
So you are in this chair, and you are now covered in moldy blankets by your own will. The throne attempts to get a good solid hold on you. It doesn't.
Thank you, blankets. I'm just gonna believe it's the blankets. Like, the blankets are just hitting it hard because I keep slipping through.
Yes.
And I'm gonna arcane strike stab him.
So you come up next to this chair and stab the chair that you have decided is a him.
Yes. Does this count as a sneak attack because he's unaware?
Yes.
Alright.
And just so you're aware, in most languages, chairs are feminine.
Well, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that hit the chair?
It does, however, the chair is immune to sneak attack damage.
sad face, but good thing I arcane strike him as well, so he'll take me extra damage. Just not the extra 1d8 damage.
So you stab it, and you come to a very annoying realization. That skin and leather that covers the chair is not part of the chair. It's skin and leather stretched over the chair. This is a skeleton. It takes less damage from your attack than you would have liked.
Oh, because it's piercing.
Tonatium. You're still grappled.
Skeleton?
You're still grappled by the modified skeleton. Drakthar took a skeleton, chopped it up to make a chair, and animated it.
Ah.
Well, it's a good thing I know it's a skeleton now.
So what do you do, Tonatium? You're still grappled, you're not pinned.
Still grappled, not pinned. What can I do? What can I do? I don't think it matters if I use that spell. I don't think the other spell's gonna work much. Shit. I'll attempt to bash it with the cane as an improvised weapon.
Alright. Make your attack with your non-proficiency bonus. So that's a -4.
Nice hit.
That hits. It's a D4 plus your strength.
Whack!
You whack it, and you whack it with your cane. It's got you, it's holding you, it's trying to pin you down, and you're just beating it with a cane. It actually drops you, Tonatium, as it turns to face Turvu.
Good thing I healed myself. What the fuck, kid?
Kid!
Kid, was that a crit threat?
No.
Oh, good.
6
I was
damage.
fine with that.
2 claws. It just claws you twice for 6 damage.
I honestly thought that was a crit threat and then the confirmation roll would be pissed.
Nope. Those were 19s. Turvu.
Since I now know it's a skeleton, 2 light wounds.
Remember, Tonatium has your wand.
I have
No, I
spell
dropped it.
slots.
I dropped it where I was.
I have spell slots.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Make your touch attack against this skeletal throne. That touches it.
8 plus 5.
Holy energy washes over the throne and it crumbles. Da 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 da.
I'm wondering, necromancers still have standards for this.
Also, goddammit, Kit. I'm mad at you, I'm also mad at myself. I see where we are, and the fact that we could have just walked this direction and fought in Dracula.
I did say it was close.
What are you talking about? I don't see anything.
We're in the area where the fucking room with the guy and the girl were. Zoom out. Just zoom out a bit.
I don't get it.
The shock lizard that we were like, hey, let's avoid this thing. It was in front of Drakthor's throne.
Oh.
Yeah, if you'd gone shock lizard route instead of people route, you would have caught Drakthar.
So, where's Drakthar now?
He fled. You're not quite sure, but he fled in this direction.
Yeah. But we are very hurt. How many uses of my wand should I use?
Please, just give me a pick-me-up.
I want to give you 3 uses of my wand.
So, let's see, I've taken 8 con damage out of 13.
Take that. Take all of those heals.
So, that should bring me up to max.
And I'm gonna
I want
use
to share
3
with
on
you.
myself.
I want to share with you the full image
Let's,
of the throne.
That was some high rolls I just did right there.
There's the throne you were fighting.
6, 9, 10. Yeah, that would put me at full health. But now I need to figure out what's my health now that I've taken 8 con damage.
I put it in the Shackled City chat if you want to see the full image of that throne you were fighting.
I'm at full health.
Hey.
Alright. Let me just figure out what the -8 does to my con. Like my
-8?
It hurts a lot.
Took 8 con damage.
Jesus, you have like no health right now.
I was rolling shit for all of those blood drain rolls, I will have you know.
So was it con damage or con drain?
Con damage, not drain.
So it'll heal over time.
Okay, so I'm just like trying to think, what would that make my HP?
4 times your level lower. So take your max HP and subtract 24 from it.
Oy.
Do you have like 2 HP left?
Oh wait, no. Damn it. Damn it, get the...
Your current max HP is 9.
Okay.
Tonatium is sickly, on the verge of death by blood loss. On top of everything else.
Foresee the danger, we run. Tonatium's in a bad mood, to say the least, but more quiet.
So I should describe this room to you, shouldn't I? This room here, the walls have been painted with blood that has dried into a rusty shade of brown. The back corner has fallen away into a dark crevasse. And a roomy chair made of sketched skins on bones and faces and such is out in the hallway because you killed it. There is a ladder beyond into the chasm.
I'm gonna see what's on Zoden.
Yeah, gotta see what's on Zoden. Zoden is wearing a suit of scale mail.
Useless.
Has a club that is engraved with golden bands.
Useless.
And
Actually, what am I useless against that? Then I'll take the club.
and a steel shield that matches
useless.
his suit of scale mail. Okay.
Detect magic?
That club is magic, so is the suit of scale mail.
Do those checks, Tony, my boy.
Spellcraft the club. Oh, wait.
So this bitch was hitting me with a magic club and still failing that hard.
That there is a +1 club. That bitch is an expert. An expert focused in on diplomacy and negotiation. The scale mail is a +1 suit of scale mail.
Is scale heavy armor?
I
think Gamel's medium.
Yeah, either way, I can't wear it.
Scale mail is medium armor. Would be a +5 base armor bonus, +3 max dex, -4 penalty, with on all the magic stuff put on top of that. But it is a magical suit of armor worth a lot of money.
Yeah, I'll take it. Hold on to it and sell it.
Yeah. Do what you will.
Let's go finish this vampire. I'm getting annoyed at this place.
So this ledge overlooks a cavern 20 feet across, 50 feet high. The floor, 30 feet below, slopes downwards. The floor, unlike the other floor, which is smooth, this floor is rocky and jagged.
I'm gonna climb down.
All right. The floor here is difficult terrain.
So we're only move at half speed.
And there's a ladder across the way.
I will climb down.
There doesn't seem to be anything over here worth noting.
You can't quite see from there without climbing up.
Yeah. Should I climb up? Actually, by the looks of the cavern down this way, there's no really way to go that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll climb up.
Treasures have been haphazardly strewn against the back wall of this recess, amid heaps of dust and bone. Loose copper and silver, assorted weapons and armor, and a wooden chest are apparent in the scattered mess.
Good idea, come up here.
Mm-hmm. Alright, what do we have?
You see a lot of treasure.
Detect magic.
You detect 1, 2, 3 sources of magic. One of the sources of magic is a quiver. The second is something wrapped in a purple velvet cloth. And the last is a feather on a statue of a bird.
Quiver, statue, cloth.
Then wrapped in cloth.
Let's try that quiver first.
So this has an aura of alteration magic. And you can look at it and you see that it has inside the quiver 3 compartments.
Oh, is it an endless quiver? Or a fishing quiver, I think.
This is the quiver of Alana, which I think is renamed to the efficient quiver in Pathfinder, but it's called Ehlana's. It's called Ehlana's quiver, after the goddess of the elves. In this, goddess of elves in nature, the first and smallest of the three can hold 60 objects of the size and shape as long bow arrows. The second compartment will hold up to 18 objects of the size and shape of a javelin. And the third will contain as many as 6 objects about the same size and shape as a bow or a spear or a stave. It is currently empty.
I wonder if this would work for crossbow bolts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the benefit is, you can call up whatever thing you have, so you don't have to have quiver for everything. Say you have like 20 enchanted arrows, you can actually just call one of them up and it pops up.
Guess I'll be taking this.
Okay.
I wonder if I can fit my crossbow in here too.
In the big one you can.
It's a light crossbow, so...
Yeah.
Alright, what's our statue thingy?
So, the statue itself is not actually magical, only the feather that is used on its tail. That feather is a bird feather token. You take it, you crack it, and it creates a small bird that carries a small written message to a designated target. It lasts long enough to take the message to the target, and no longer. And does so without error.
You know, perhaps we should use that immediately, because I just realized something.
You thought so too?
Yeah, the guy, he said he's going to send the Stormblades down here if we aren't back reporting every day.
Yeah, that's
Okay, what message do you write to him?
We're okay. You don't need to send the Stormblade. We'll probably be up by the end of this day.
Okay.
Don't say it like that.
Out goes the bird. Flutter, 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 flutter.
We don't even know how much time has passed. Anyway, the thing wrapped in the cloth.
So the thing wrapped in the cloth radiates evocation magic. And as soon as you notice what it is, you start treating that cloth a little more carefully. Because you know that it wraps a necklace of fireballs. Type 2.
Oh god, type 2.
Yep.
Yeah, this would have been nice to have like a while ago.
So you're telling us.
Type 2, so could you tell me how much damage each one would do again?
I am going to put that in the Discord.
Do you want it, or do you want it turbo, or?
So I'll have one that does 6d6, two that does 4d6, and two that does 2d6.
Yay!
Are you taking that?
Yeah, sure, I'll take it.
Alright.
Because you have to wear it. You have that, unless if you have something on your neck slot, you would be able to wear it.
I just thought you'd be better at throwing stuff.
And probably that too, I don't know.
So, in addition, you can see piles of copper and silver, a rusted battle axe, a longbow, a rapier, a spear with a silver head, a breastplate shaped like a griffin, a mithril shirt,
What had a silver head?
a spear with a silver head.
I'm not
Think of
proficient
that.
in spears.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I'm proficient in spears.
You can have it then.
You can put it in the quiver.
I could do that too.
There's a mithril shirt, a breastplate shaped in the likeness of a griffin, a heavy darkwood shield, and a chest that you've already opened because the necklace and the feather token were inside of it, which is also full of other D-dads and
Mithril
gigas.
shirt.
Mithril shirt.
So how does that work?
It's like a chain shirt, but it's made out of mithril.
Chain shirt, but it's not a chain shirt, but it works like one.
So, a mithril shirt is a chain shirt. It counts as light armor. It has a spell failure chance of 10%, max dex of +6, no armor check penalty, and an armor bonus of +4.
Do you think this will be improving for you, Turbo?
Technically not. I have my own chain shirt.
You're not fishing in light armor, though. Or what am I? I'm gonna check real fast.
Essentially, if you wear this every time you cast a spell, you'll roll a d20, and if you roll a 1 or a 2, it'll fail.
Except for me, I'm good for that, because bards don't have the arcane, battle check penalty.
I'm saying that for Tony T.
Yeah.
I guess I'll put on the shirt and
Okay.
figure out what non-proficiency in the armor would do.
It makes the armor check penalty worse. However,
No, I think it makes you, you take the armor check penalties, penalty to your attack rolls.
okay. Mithril shirts never have armor check penalties.
It's really perfectly fine for you, outside of the, failure chance.
So the only the only downside you have for this is the 2 in 20 chance of failing your spells.
Okay.
And that only just uses up the slot. It does not cause any negatives, so that's good.
Nope.
Mithril shirt.
And then there's treasure in the chest.
10%. Spell chance failure?
Yep.
So like every time you have to cast a spell, you have to roll 1d100, and if you roll a 1 or a
No,
10...
I just explained it. Every time he casts a spell, he rolls a d20, and he fails on a 1 or a 2.
Gotcha.
That's why those come in levels of 5.
Gotcha.
So you don't need to pull out your percentiles for every single attack.
Okay, I made a note of it in my spell book.
Okay. So in the locked chest, there's a beautiful gold bracelet, a silver comb studded in amber, a small ivory flute with little jade caps for the things that you push down on a flute to play it.
Okay, gold bracelet. I will praise that.
Your appraise is high enough that I'm not going to bother having you roll.
Okay.
Silver, so that's the gold bracelet. Here's the silver comb. And here's the ivory flute. But of course, a silver comb is cooler than 155 pieces of gold. You could wear it in your hair and be pretty.
You can be fabulous.
You can comb your hair. You can learn to play the ivory flute.
Just ivory flute. That means penis.
Alright, for the rest of this, I don't know what's in the rest of this treasure, but I'm just gonna scoop it up with the wand of floating disc.
That much copper. That much silver.
That's a lot of money we just got.
That is, as far as money is concerned, I know how to calculate that. 207 pounds of money.
Yep, disc holds.
Plus the rusty battle axe and the longbow. But yeah, you saw Drakthar come this way in his ghastly form.
Perception?
Okay.
To look for any hidden doors?
Right under your feet, there's a trapdoor.
I will open it.
In there is an alcove full of dirt, save for a bugbear-shaped impression, where there's currently laying, eyes closed and arm crossed, an unconscious Drakthar.
Cool, stab him with my stake.
His eyes jolt open, and he roars as his flesh turns to dust and only his skeleton remains. Da 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 da. Finally fucking killed Drakthar.
Most of the goblins should have been taken care of, except for the king, or whatever.
The king.
Or like that one goblin at death that got away.
Then Trevor's gonna go, yeah, you're right. I didn't even know Corvin had a kick. Because he still warns it's a king.
Whatever.
Just for good measure, be careful, he's gonna stomp on the skull.
Crack goes the skull.
I would have, but there was no real further point to it. Not that Tona team is still very, very bitter.
Tona team is a very bitter boy.
And you notice, so that packet area in the middle was lined in lead.
me imply magic.
Hey, so Drak'Thar's leather vest and his kind of skull necklace are both magical.
I suppose you need my help for this too.
Wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong person.
Oh, you're looking at the wrong person?
I was looking at the wrong person. His vest is magical. That vest is a vest of armor. Vest of protection +1.
Would it stack with the chain shirt?
It gives you a +1 armor bonus, so no, it would not. And it would take the same slot. It's essentially a regular vest that is not armored at all, but it's magically giving you +1 armor.
You take it, Charlie? No.
No.
You can take it as well if you want it.
Okay, vest protection.
It's like a ring of protection +1,
Just add it to the pile then.
but a vest.
There's one thing I'd like to do before we go though. If the Soapy's still there. Yeah, the 3 goblins died here, right?
I'm sorry?
3 goblin sneaks died here, right?
Yes.
Cut off their ears while I'm at it.
More ears.
I'm physically weak, but I'm actually using the cane to help me walk.
So that's a cliff.
That's a cliff.
Yeah.
Which would lead to the lizard. Yeah, do we have rope?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have 150 rope?
Oh, 100 feet of rope? No.
No, it's only a 30-foot drop.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Those lines are measured from the top of the cavern.
so we can reach it down safely with 1 rope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still can't believe you were almost wrecked by a bunch of level 1 fighters with halberds.
We are not good at melee fights.
Your dice cheated.
Yeah. You know, it's like 5 crits.
I did crit a lot there. That was sad.
Are you going? Oh yeah, I know what you're going to do now. It's all the way down there.
Are you coming or not?
Okay. Oh, Rush, with you.
Such a long tunnel.
It just makes you feel all the more emptier. Damn it, now I'm about to cry.
Oh. Oh,
Like,
next.
that wasn't until you mentioned how it's a long walk.
It's a long walk. Like you just limped your way. Like 2 city blocks to get to Twig. Now, one thing you know is that those surviving mercenaries are going to be back the way you came. Just a little heads up.
Whatever. I say as I wrap Twig with the cloth we found earlier.
Wrap Twig up in the purple velvet cloth. Twig is in your inventory. And I don't know who saw it, but somebody got into a position to catch a glimpse of light coming from this tunnel.
What is that?
You can see the light. You can see the light, the tunnel opening up to light and to green.
That's odd.
The light and then to green?
Yeah. And then the trees of the jungle.
That's all the way on the outside of the city.
This tunnel leads from under the bathhouse all the way to the base of the volcano that Cauldron is built on top of.
Oh, so if we want to, we don't have to take the long way around to go back out through the bathhouse.
It'd still be... We still need paper... we would need paperwork to leave the city and then go through paperwork to come back in.
You would have to pay the gate tax. There's no paperwork involved, just a gate tax.
Oh. Just a gate tax?
Yeah, 5 silver to enter the city.
But there's also a possibility of someone else coming in through here.
There is. Almost like that army of orc mercenaries that you were hearing about.
Maybe we should find a way to break it?
You know what that sounds like a wonderful job for?
The city.
I was going to use the necklace of fireball.
I was going to say for next week, but sure, we can keep pushing.
Do as you wish. This is Mal, like, if you want to do it, do it.
Oh, there's the extra fireball doesn't work out. Let's just let the city handle it. We cleared out this place of the monsters.
Oh, then. Did you take out all... I'm assuming you didn't take out all the orcs.
Well, if any survive, they would be back up the way we can.
Then they're going to report what has happened. There might be another ambush in the waiting. And I am in no condition to fight.
Well, let me take the lead. You can stay behind.
I wonder if this is enough money.
Such a long climb.
I think I'm going to need a week of rest.
You're telling me. I'm all worn out.
So it's 600 feet as the cock crows, plus 200 feet vertically. While you climb, you're looking at about 700 feet you have to walk.
Looks like it. I don't know.
That's a tenth of a mile. And it's all uphill. You're limping a tenth of a mile uphill here.
This is only slightly better than going up the normal way, though. No traffic.
Turvu, you can hear a conversation. You think they're gonna be okay? Well, they didn't kill the two of them. A couple more days of rest, and they should be fine. Haven't heard from Zoden in a while. Zoden's berating that vampire. Something about the vampire wanting to feast upon the flesh, feast upon the life's blood of the mighty mage. Should have just killed the two of them. It'll be fine. There's no way it's gonna come around to bite us in the ass.
Ever gonna turn to him and whisper as he starts, or put like the finger to his mouth for silence as he starts the stealth.
You can hear that it's over this way. It's a pity they burned all the beds. I know. We walked for days.
One of them saw me as what?
So
I no longer have my familiars, so my stealth is no longer as good.
So, our initial combat situation is the three of these. These two are laying around on the floor. You aren't. So, initiative. Turvu.
Which is the one that noticed me?
This one. This one heard and was like, he was saying, yeah, I walked for two, wait, and turned his head.
Sadly, it was him that noticed me.
Yeah.
Step up, arcane strike, and throw my star knife at 222.
That'll hit. Ouchie ouch. Donatium.
I'll walk in and cast Flaming Sphere on Mercenary 222. Reflex save.
Reflex save. Fortunately for him, he's not in his armor. And I rolled a 20. Unfortunately for him, ow.
He doesn't take any damage on a save.
Nope, it's half. Or was it?
Nope, it is no damage on both the spear and the cloud if they make their save.
Oh.
So he...
Like, for them, like, the fire is in their space, so their save is, like, out of the way.
Yeah. So he so he leaps up and runs over to where his weapon is. Turvu. Against the other one who's just got looking at you like, huh? He is not wearing his fancy breastplate, and he doesn't have his halberd. The halberds are up against the wall alongside the fancy breastplates.
I'm gonna arcane strike another at 222.
That'll hit. He's not looking super great. Donatium.
I'm gonna... No, I can't move without moving them. Okay, I'm just gonna concentrate on moving this spear to what I think he's gonna be, which is just straight ahead.
Okay, I'm going to give him a +2 on his save here, because you're not exactly sure where he is.
Dodged anyway.
Yep. He takes a few steps forward, looking at you and says, "What have you done with Shoden?" As he stabs at the... I'm sorry?
Yeah, under the cryptic kit? Oh, really?
No, it's not.
Huh.
9.
Ouch. Good thing I was at literally full health.
And 58 goes, "Holy shit!" Stands up and runs over to grab his halberd. Turvu.
Wait.
I'm gonna step up and Arcane Strike.
That'll hit. Tonatium.
I'll double move to Ramen over.
He does not save. He's what we call a crispy chicken. Da 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 da.
Jesus. I don't know if you picked that up, but there was just a massive thunder strike.
Might take the next round to throw the flaming spear at Kalev.
Sure.
You gonna kill them?
Really bad move today.
First of all, you know this from the fact that we fighted her, that she was possessed.
And now she's dead.
So you just killed the possessed person, not the person who was not possessed and attacking us, but the person who was possessed.
Okay. Tonatium. Turvu just yelled at you. What are you gonna do?
Fine then. That man still opposed us. Give me one good reason why you should let him off the hook.
You will upset Death Skull.
I'll huff and dispel the spear.
You'll dispel the spear. Now there is one unconscious person aware of this plot who is not dead.
I will pick him up.
Yay! Now I feel that this is a good time to break for this session. Because it's hot. I'm tired.
I'm not tired and I'm sad that Twig died.
Twig, no! We need XP, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We have the throne. We have finally defeating Drakthar.
It became a lot less scary once we learned it was just a skeleton.
I loved how scared you were of the throne. That was wonderful. We have Shoden. We have 6 of the mercenaries. We have the bat. We have the last 4 of the sneaks. We have the last adept. 4,000 each.
Whee.
Next time, the aftermath of Draxar's Way.
Oh yeah, kid, I forgot to make my fort save for the negative level.
Let's do that right now.
Let's assume this was before I didn't get all that vampire stuck to me.
Yes. The level's permanent.
Nah.
Tonatium has come out of this rather miserably. Very nearly a TPK.
Was it for our experience? It was,
That was very nearly a TPK.
The dice did not like us today.
No, they didn't. Oof. And I'm like, okay, how can I give you a second chance to get through this? And even then, it was nearly a TPK.
oh my god, I'm slightly upset.
Why? You didn't level?
We're 595 points off of leveling up. Both of us are. Next level up is 23,000.
You are officially ahead of level. Favorite part of the session?
No, thinking
I just like how you let how the second chance worked out, but at the same time,
Buster Infected is fun.
Worst part of the session? Rip Twig.
Worst session of Whip Trick. My favorite part of the session is actually managing
The what?
cut out.
lying to the people and actually managing to lie to them successfully.
Yeah. It's a pity you didn't take advantage of that to be like, and blistering invictive.
That wouldn't have helped, at all.
No, it
Would have
wouldn't
just
have.
had that fight there.
Yeah. Oh. So I have to confess that entire second scene, I'm like, how the fuck am I going to rebuild this campaign if you become vampires? Because I was totally expecting that you weren't going to get out of that and that Drakthar was going to suck your blood and make you vampires.
At least he can't make me a vampire.
At least he'll be able to kick his ass.
He can't make you a vampire, Turbo?
I'm immune to diseases.
It's not a disease.
Oh, it's not a disease?
No. It sucks your blood, and if you die of blood loss from the vampire, you rise as a vampire spawn.
So it's not like a lycanthropy where if you get bit,
Nope.
you have a potential for disease.
He sits there and he sucks you dry, and then raises you as his spawn.
He's gonna
Don't
take his
mention lycanthropy.
He's gonna take his ivory fruit and suck us dry.
Yeah.
That was just terrible. What happened with the lycanthropy?
Oy vey. That was. And the entire place burned to the ground. Were you in that game, Mal? Do you remember when everyone became a werewolf?
Which game? Which game?
I don't think he was there for Carrion Crown.
Yeah, it
No, I
was
was not there.
Tom and Chim and Antonio. Who was the fourth person?
I don't think there was a fourth person. Yeah, there was no fourth person. Or unless they joined in later, I can't remember.
Because at the beginning it was you and Tom, and then Chim and
later.
one other person joined.
No, not one other person joined right then and there.
But the point is, everyone turned into werewolves.
No, all we had to do was one of us just makes the save,
Yeah.
and then we can administer the cure to everyone, and then
Nope, everyone just failed miserably and turned into uncontrolled werewolves. And I'm like, what happens? That happens, then that happens, then that happens, then that happens. Oh my god, you wake up in the woods the next morning and the building you were in is on fire. And there's blood everywhere.
we lost the cure, we lost humanity, and we lost the resort cabin.
Yep. That campaign, you just everywhere you went, you left a trail of horrible in your wake.
This would all have been averted if Liv-Free just didn't roll so badly on her roll.
Yeah. At first, like the first couple places, things went fine. Then Linfrey died, and Roven and everyone else just had no fucks to give about actually fixing the problems and defending the weak. You're like, oh, here's the next clue along our journey. Who cares if we've unleashed a massive family of wraiths on this town? Not our town, not our problem. Let's go.
Oh yeah, Liv-Free was the only restraining bolt.
Yeah. And Linfrey got taken from full health to dead in the first attack of that Manticore fight. It was not pretty.
And worst of all, they paid for a revive, but because I decided that, like, as a card for Asla, she decided her time was done.
Oh yeah,
So
that
the resurrection spell failed.
that pissed Tom off so much that because he took out loans to bring your character back, and she's just like, I am a cleric of the goddess of natural death. I have died. What are you doing?
And of course, there might be some who is like, yeah, it's not my time yet. Well, Linfrey was not that person.
Nope, Linfrey's like, I'm dead. I have longed to be dead my entire life. Go away. Linfrey wasn't a happy person.
Nope.
Oh. Golly gee. Just how huge this map is.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until like we had to walk back to get Twig.
It was so long to go get Twig. That's so sad. Twig.
Like, that's the thing, like, I was just like, as soon as Tortilla woke up, he felt the connection gone, so like he knew what has happened.
Yeah.
And that's probably what made him like put up the last bit of a defiant act, even if it wouldn't amount to anything.
Just.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a funeral for Twig.
Unless you find a powerful cleric.
Who's willing to bring your cat back from the dead. I mean, if you want to, that's something you can attempt to do. It certainly
The
is.
most I can say is no.
It'll be up to you whether or not Twig says no. Gosh. Just... There's aftermaths. This is gonna have... There's gonna be a roleplay heavy session next week as we deal with the consequences.
As we deal with the consequences, as we try to heal up.
As you sell what you don't want. As you decide if you want to come back and check out the doors that you didn't open. As you...
We didn't explore everywhere.
Are you a completionist? Do you care?
I don't know, I only care if there's any more goblins.
You don't
I
know?
doubt there's any more, honestly. Considering how much of a ruckus we made.
They probably would have came out. Probably. You know, to be honest, I was half thinking I could use that flaming spear in its final round to just knock the place down as we go up.
Unfortunately, it's all stone.
Nah. Guess you decided not to have it collapse after all.
Unfortunately, you murdered the possessed version. So, we don't know if she's good or not. And we'll never know.
You'll never know that she was chaotic evil.
Yeah, Tonatium doesn't give a fuck. His cat died.
Tonatium's chaotic neutral, right?
Yeah, he's chaotic neutral right now.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be chaotic evil. He hasn't been chaotic evil yet. He's been like, no threat.
The questionable act was, like, how I disposed that body.
Yeah, you mean when you dissolved the people in acid? No.
I think killing Caleb was kind of...
It was something a chaotic neutral person would do. Like, Tonatium... If Tonatium was a good guy, it would have an alignment shift, but Tonatium's not a good guy.
The only reason another guy lives is because he pointed out that then the pet would lose his friend, and that kind of stung Tonatium at the moment.
Yes. Tonatium's like, no. Incidentally, Tonatium, that lizard could become a new familiar.
Yeah, that's considered it, but...
If we can't find a way to revive Kitty.
Yeah, but I don't think Tonatium's feeling it just yet. After all, it just happened.
Yeah, it just happened, like...
And you need to wait a week before you can, like, start the ritual again anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be some stuff next session. Oof. Woof, woof, woof. And I never use the random encounter table because anytime that it could come up, I'm like, nope, that did kill ya.
That'd kill you, like the slime almost did.
It just like got on your face, and you're the one who panicked.
I don't have a mask anymore.
Well,
We have to walk to the police station because we're carrying this guy's unconscious body without my mask.
well, you can keep your eyes closed.
It's a little, you know.
Don't you have to have your eyes closed to talk?
Yeah.
There, so you can just be like, Tonatium, lead me.
It still doesn't change the fact that people are going to see I'm a tiefling.
Yeah, don't you have like a head or something?
No.
We never established you didn't have a hood.
Based on my outfit, I think I might or might not. I'm wearing the burglar's outfit, I think.
That has a hood. Yeah, you can whip that hood up, and if no one looks too closely, they won't notice that you've got weird colored skin. And then you get to the cops, you drop the body, you stand up, you open your eyes, they blow black smoke everywhere, and...
Hey, if I could get rid of the magic on that mask, you can have that.
Genre thing?
Nice. Or better yet, keep the magic.
So every time someone walks towards me, it sings.
You walk down the street with it shouting all the time. That would be a great... Oh gosh. Are you gonna just like start reciteering your shop, Tonatium?
Possibly.
With all this stuff? And then just call it Jadaroon? So when people walk in, it's like, welcome to Jadaroon.
My outfit does not have a hood. It has fitted pants, a shirt, No, it is a hood. I saw a reverse cloak and it didn't read hooded.
Yeah. You got a little cloak and a hood. There you go. You're fine, man.
Just don't look at me closely.
Next week, reporting spirals and capitalism.
Just don't look closely at the person being guided, like, by hand behind another person who's carrying an unconscious body and a shitload of treasure.
Just pretend you're blind.
I'm still carrying an unconscious body.
But I'm on the disc.
We're still carrying an unconscious body and a disc behind us.
How much can the disc carry?
Up to 500 pounds.
Okay, the disc can carry him still. Barely. Like, yeah, that's gonna put him just barely under the level of the disc.
They did say to just call the guards next time we have to carry a body.
Yeah, we can repeat the on the guards here.
So you carry it up the stairs, you walk out the door, you kick open the front door and go, "Oi, guards!"
Oi, you! With the face!
We need you to take care of this guy. It's straining our magical treasure disc. We'll meet you at the station as soon as we drop everything off.
You know what would have been worth hard if we failed?
I'm sorry?
We done all the work, and the Stormblades will get all the glory.
Oh gosh. If you'd
failed,
you would have fought the Stormblades as vampires.
And the Stormblades might not have been able to handle us, but depending on how good they are.
Like part of me is a little upset that you failed, because trying to adapt this and be like, okay, you're vampires now. That could have been interesting.
It could have been, but I don't want to be a vampire, especially not to the Jackdaw guy.
Yeah. And then I'm really, really happy that I don't have to change anything.
Yeah. And besides, from what you said, it kind of seemed like you didn't want to turn. You wanted to feast on Tonatium. He never said he wanted to feast on Turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking bad anywhere as a vampire and you die.
Yeah, that would probably what would happen.
Well, one thing for you to think about during the next week. I shouldn't tell you this yet, but I will. You will be receiving this dungeon complex as a reward for your services.
What?
Oh, great.
So,
We have the bathhouse dungeon?
yeah, the bathhouse and the dungeon underneath.
We have a bathhouse now?
We didn't even explore everywhere, and we still have that chakra lizard issue.
Yeah.
That could be taken care of easily.
So,
What is a chakra lizard gonna do to me?
What would you even do this with?
it'll be up to you what you want to do with this. But I just thought I'd give you a chance to think over the next week of what your characters would want to do with a bathhouse and associated complex.
Yeah.
That's an associated complex. Oh god, are we gonna have to post someone at the bottom of the volcano? Is like, do you have the fees to leave?
Or we just get the city to close it off.
Yeah. We could.
I don't have a good name for this session. I really don't.
First death?
Snapped twigs. I don't know.
I like that one first. First death. That's big. That's dramatic. People go, "Oh shit, who dies?" And then it's Twig. Oh no. Twig. No.
We gotta resurrect Twig.
No one can replace Twig.
Potentially. You could potentially resurrect Twig with the 17,000 game.
We got a lot of money there.
Yeah, it is a lot of money.
That's a lot of
We
money.
just gotta find someone who's powerful enough. Probably the trickiest one.
I might be able to buy some magic items if possible.
And we gotta reforge the wand.
I'm gonna
You
have to
cannot
make
just
a new
simply
one.
recharge it. You have to, like, make a new one.
If you have an empty one, you can recharge it. It still takes the cost, I think, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I got really worried the moment that the wand was starting to fits out.
That wand carried you. That wand carried you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that. That wand is probably the only reason why we got out as we did.
That wand and the Cure Light Wound wand are the only reason to apply for it.
So
And some really lucky burning invectives.
Yeah, it's a really lucky burning invective. So I love invective. I'm literally going to use some money to have you make me a burning invective wand.
So, next time I don't really have a spoiler image for. Because next time is a thing that we're going to be playing by ear.
I do have one thing that might help us, like, figure out the rest of this complex without, like, the stress.
Oh?
I have insect scouts now.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I want to give you a spoiler image for something coming up in a while. I have no clue exactly how long it will be. But since I can't give you a next time image, this is a in the future image.
Yeah, I think next week is just going to be dealing with aftermath and free time because...
Is that a zombie T-Rex? Excuse me?
No, it's not a zombie T-Rex. It's a skeleton T-Rex.
You excuse me?
We're gonna go to a natural history museum, man. It's been ages.
Yay!
And now I can imagine how an ancient civilization is going to find us and put up our skeletons for display. The lucky ones, anyway, the unlucky ones will probably be used as fossil fuel.
I just realized that this map is still visible. Go away. That map's not player visible. It's fixed. Okay.
And I'm just starting to think about how thousands of years later people are gonna, like, argue about the pantheon of Batman and Superman.
They probably won't. It'll be like myths where we know that they're so like when we look at ancient mythology, we know that some myths were religious stories and some were just stories. Like even amongst like priests and people who teach Christianity, we know that like the story of Ruth and the story of Job are just fiction. They're fiction meant to teach lessons. Like, I don't think I've met any priest who believes that Job actually happened as written in the scripture.
Huh. Okay.
I've met a couple of, old women who think it has, but, that's a different thing. So, like, in a few thousand years, people will be aware of Superman and Batman, but they'll know that they were stories. And what they'll be discussing is what the significance of those stories means to us and to them.
Yeah.
They argue about the morality of, like, should you finish criminals off?
It's funny. It's funny because Batman kills people all the fucking time.
I don't know anything about Batman Batman or Superman, to be honest.
The joke is always that Batman never kills, but I'm just like, have you people never read Batman? He kills people all the fucking time.
Isn't like the primary
in like gruesome ways too.
Isn't the primary conflict though between the Batman v Superman thing is Superman has decided to just say fuck it and start killing every criminal regardless of what their crime was.
I think that was Injustice.
Yeah, that's Injustice. I know that the game that has exactly that thing.
I read Batman, and I read Iron Man,
The only hero that
and
actually
I read. Gosh, what are they called? They're The Inhumans. I read Batman, Iron Man, and The Inhumans as a kid. Those are the ones I read. Which is why I was so hype on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a while, and so hype for them merging in The Inhumans into their film, and then like there was Marvel Studios fighting when Disney bought them, and the TV studio got split off and withered and died, and now we don't have Inhumans in the main Marvel. Also, they got the rights to X-Men, so.
From what I remember, at least the Injustice plot, I don't know if there's a part of Batman v Superman, but Lois, I think, dies, so Superman gets really pissed and decides to start just killing every criminal regardless of what they do.
Are you talking about the movie?
The Injustice comic and the Injustice games.
I know, but are you like asking about the Batman v Superman movie?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just stupid. Really. Like, Batman thinks that Superman's too powerful and something fascism and paranoia. It's not even, murdering everyone or anything. Like, there's no good reason for the conflict in that movie.
So
I've seen that movie too many times. My daughter loves that movie, and I'm like, again, we're watching this slog fest? She doesn't watch the release. She watches the full director's cut that's like an hour longer. And I'm like, why do you like this? And legitimately, the reason my daughter likes it is Martha. She likes it because they make up at the end because their moms have the same name. Which is one of the dumbest parts of the movie. The DC movies are dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on that,